You got your horn section, you got your backup vocals, got your powerful singer, got your monster horns, got your rhythm section, got your big band with a big sound out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the soulful, explosive splendor of
Suncoast Live. Have a question or comment? Give us a call, 941-460-1530.
You don't own that plane, the taxpayers do. Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I listen to sports that stimulates my afternoons with a man I can respect in the morning.
All I want to do is enjoy nature and peace and quiet.
Now, here's the host of Suncoast Live, Guy Wayman.
Live from beautiful Englewood Beach, this is Suncoast Live. Glad to have you with us on America's Suncoast and keeping track of all the activities in and about the area. Big Cracker Fair over the weekend. A lot of people down on Dearborn Street in the park enjoying not only the outdoors but the festivities and the food. Oh my goodness, the food was fantastic. Hope that you got out to enjoy a little bit of that. And every week there's something else a little bit more special happening in and around Englewood and the Southwest Plex. It could be down in Rotunda. It could be in Port Charlotte. It could be up in Venice or Nokomis or Northport. All around the area, there is something new. Glad to have you with us on this Monday afternoon, hour number 2. That's where the 2 came in, hour number 2 of Suncoast Live. All right, we've got 8 minutes past the hour of 4 o'clock. Let's bring him in, Mr. Tony Cotillo. How you doing, Tony?
I'm wonderful, Guy. How are you?
All right, Fantasy Sports Addiction. We got the new Alliance League coming out. Is Fantasy Sports going to be a part of this?
I don't really think so.
Really? Because they're saying that gambling is going to be a big part of this new league.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little hard to play fantasy sports with the AAF. I think we'll stick to the NFL.
You think, I was watching a little bit of it, and my first thought was, and I texted this to a couple of people, I said it was like watching college football, but there are no cheerleaders or bands.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got the idea from the XFL too, right? So, kind of the same kind of format. So, listen, football is the world's most popular sport, so, bring it on, right?
Well, they said the ratings were there, and you couldn't prove it by me. There were very few people in the stands. There's no kickoff at all, so they just placed the ball on the 25-yard line. That was a little bit bizarre, watching Herm Edwards walk out, put the ball on the 25-yard line, and say, here you go. It's like, wait a minute, let's see him kick it.
Yeah, you know what? What's funny is those little kind of leagues will stay relevant as long as they don't overexpose themselves. That's why I always say, listen, if you do, you make a mockery of things here or there, maybe you have a couple gimmicks here or there, but if you just stick to your script and you do it for your month or 2 months out of the year, it'll work. It's just when you decide to grow on, obviously you're not going to be able to combat against the NFL. So this is just a sideshow. But if you keep it that way, hey, it's a little fun for everybody.
Who is behind this? I heard CBS, but then I watched a game last night for a little bit, and it was on the NFL Network. Is the NFL behind this, or are they? Obviously, they're okay with it if they put it on their network.
Well, one of the guys behind it is Bill Polian. And he says he got the idea from the XFL. So, listen, the XFL will be broadcast on those networks as well. Listen, I don't know if the NFL has any stock in it, which I'm probably going to say it doesn't. But it's broadcast on those networks. I mean, let's face it, there's some ex-NFL players in there as well, too. So, just something for everybody to watch and to keep their interest until the real game starts in April.
Is this a bunch of rejects?
It's like watching the replacements, right? But
it is a valid question, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, you could say, or you could say it's a bunch of guys who, maybe are just, listen, I know in my area there's a lot of adult leagues, there's a lot of, pickup leagues, and it's guys who maybe that are decent players, but just not good enough. Or, maybe they don't want to do the grind of a full training camp and NFL season, and they just want to go play some games. So I think you have a variety of people that are involved in the AAF.
All warm climates or domes, I believe, is where they'll be playing, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So that not only is it a good football game, fun to watch, it's a good environment to watch too. So it kind of draws you in from every single angle.
Who came up with these names? The Hot Shots, and the Apollos and the Stallions and, the Legends. That's a weird name. I'm going to root for the Legends. It's like...
that's the fun. That's the fun. That's the parody about it. That's the fun part about it, right? I'd always bring you back to the XFL. We're obviously the one guy who's synonymous to XFL, he hates me, in Rod Smart. And you just think of, here's this guy comes out, he's got he hates me on the back of his jersey. Everybody thinks it's great, it's funny. He's a viral sensation. I mean, this is what this is all about.
Well, if nothing else, they got viewership because there was not a lot of they pulled away from an NBA game, but for the most part, unless you wanted to just kind of suck it up and watch the Grammys last night, which I did not do, and I'm a musician, I'm a trained musician.
I actually did, but
oh my goodness, I actually turned over to the NFL and watched the Hot Shots play the Lowlifes, or I don't know what the other name was.
Yeah, I was flipping back and forth between the Grammys and the Golden State Miami Heat game, so I was trying to, I didn't watch any of the AAF, but I did watch the Grammys.
All right. Well, I was just wondering because now you go to the website of, like, say, for example, CBS Sports. They actually now have given an AAF title on the top of their website.
They gave them their own tab. Yeah, I mean, listen.
They have power rankings? It's like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you go on ESPN and you go on NFL.com, one of the lead stories is that, Alliance Football. I mean, it's AAF right there. I mean, it's amazing. But listen, it'll catch on a little bit, and it'll give somebody, anybody who has an appetite for some kind of football, at the end of the day, if there's nothing on TV, they'll watch, and then eventually I think they'll grow their viewership enough to where they're pretty relevant.
It's interesting. On their website, they don't give their mascot name, so they'll just say San Antonio, San Diego, or Birmingham, Memphis, but they don't put that other name like the Arizona Hotshots.
Yeah, maybe they think if they put that, people will think it's too much of a joke, and they won't watch it.
They'll have to be careful about that. So you're saying the betting is not there?
Well, I'm not saying I'm not a big betting guy, except for the fantasy realm. But as far as fantasy, listen, people will make a fantasy matchup through any kind of sport or any kind of parody. So, am I saying it can't be done? No, but I know I wouldn't do it myself.
Okay. What other sports did you watch on the weekend?
Oh, well, listen, before we get, I thought you were going to ask you about the big breaking news out of the NFL. Which I'm kind of shocked, and I want to get your opinion because we've been on the Cleveland Brown bandwagon for at least a year now, and they go out and sign Kareem Hunt today.
I saw that, and it's like here Kareem Hunt was released by the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was, I don't know if it wasn't proven in a court of law or anything, but allegedly hitting a woman. And
three different occurrences as well. Not just one, three. So let's not forget that.
And then the Browns and Dorsey, who was with the Kansas City Chiefs, signed him.
And it's a very interesting situation here. You said it. Dorsey's the guy who drafted him, obviously in Kansas City, but they have a number one running back in Nick Chubb. They have a guy in Duke Johnson that they just committed a lot of money to as a change of pace, third down back out of the backfield. So it's really interesting to see what they're thinking, especially I just hope it doesn't ruin their image. Because, listen, me and you have been on this show, and I know everybody's going to think differently. I don't think this guy deserves to be signed right now. I'm sorry. He needs to be taught a lesson. This isn't how you teach a guy a lesson. Not only is this guy going to get signed, he's going to get a raise. Okay, so it basically is showing, for this big stand the NFL wants to take, you can go out, mess up, come back, and get paid even more than you did before you messed up. So I don't understand that logic. And, everything was going smooth for Cleveland right now. We were just talking about that, stepping in the right direction, and now you drop this bombshell. So it really, really intrigues me to see what this press conference is going to be like and kind of the answer that they come up with when they're asked by the press.
Well, I do agree with you that they should not have given him a chance. I think he needed to go through either a rehab or a reconstructing of his own personal life, get that under control. And I believe in second chances. Don't get me wrong.
No, but I agree with you.
But at the same time, you have to make sure that this person's life has been straightened out correctly. How long did this happen? And I just think it was too soon after Kansas City released him. Maybe like another year or so, but just to put the people, the fans at ease.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. They're signing this guy before ruling him becomes down for the NFL. I mean, this guy hasn't even been ruled yet on what his suspension's going to be.
Yeah.
So, this is a very odd move. Obviously, we don't know the underlying circumstances. Maybe this was an agreement where he needs to seek help. Maybe they signed something like that. I'm not sure. I just, to me, it just sends a bad message. Just like when the Redskins picked up Mr. Foster. It's the same kind of deal to me. These guys need to be reprimanded for what they did. I believe in second chances. I do. And, I'll bring up Michael Vick. And the only reason why I say that is because Michael Vick played in this town. And he did get a second chance. But he went through years of forgiveness, right? Obviously he was, put behind bars. But, he went through a lot of different things in order to get back to where he was. So Kareem Hunt hasn't even begun that process yet.
Well, so, and then the people in New England, they signed, was it Josh Norman or Josh Gordon? I get the two last names.
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, and that did not work out. Cleveland signed Johnny Manziel. That did not work out. So I'm just, I guess it's going to be time will tell. Maybe they've got him signed.
Time will tell. We'll see what happens.
Colin Kaepernick, I'm surprised that they've not given him a second chance in the AAF.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. That's a good. You know what? That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, that just popped up. We're talking about second chances, and it's like, wait a minute, Colin Kaepernick's out there. Since he did what he did against the American flag and patriotism and blah, 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 he's been banished. Yeah,
he's kind of been, maybe for the lack of a better term, but kind of blackballed by the NFL. It's kind of just, listen, what happened to him is almost like basically what happened to Barry Bonds in Major League Baseball. I mean, there was a lot of guys let in the Hall of Fame. There was a lot of guys being talked about, but, that were under that same kind of scrutiny. And here you go, the supposed home run king. He kind of, just vanished. I mean, videos vanished of him. They took everything off the charts. I mean, it's just amazing what they do in certain areas of certain players. So, but that's a good point. Maybe we'll see Cap thrown in the AAF. Who knows?
Well, yeah, okay. Baseball.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers. I mean, listen, those challengers left. The bags are packed. The two guys, Machado and Harper, still aren't signed.
What's the deal with that?
Man, this is just an ego battle between two super agents. It really is. And it's exactly, if you remember what I told, what I told you last week, what my opinion was about money, you see what happened, right? You see Machado got a different offer from the Yankees now. And the offer went from $175 million to $220 million. Oh. So now he just got $50 more million. All this standstill is neither one of these agents want to be the first one to sign and set the market. That's what it's going on. So when that gap gets tighter and tighter between Machado and Harper, I think that's when you'll see them sign. Listen, this could go on for another month. I hate to tell people, but we could be in March before one of these guys sign.
All right, you talk about egos and what's going on. What about LeBron James and L.A. Lakers?
I'll tell you what. Maybe LeBron made the wrong decision.
Oh, do you think? Do you think?
Let me tell you something. I would not be sad one bit if nobody went to play with LeBron. I really wouldn't, because he's made a mockery of this league for the past 10 years. And listen, I respect the guy's talent on the floor. He's a great player. He's still not Michael Jordan, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, this guy has made a mockery of the rules and the systems in place in a team sport that didn't need any kind of change. And you know what? Guess what? He deserves it. If it happens, he deserves it. Because I'll tell you right now, not just calling a Philadelphia guy, but the Philadelphia 76ers are rolling right now, and they've made a lot of moves at the trade deadline, and so did Toronto, so did Milwaukee. So the East is back. The Eastern Conference is back, and it's going to be exciting 2-3 months of basketball coming up.
They say that Kyrie Irving has very much got a little bit of the LeBron in him.
Yeah, I mean, the whole question, or I should say the whole reason, and, the rumors of him leaving with Cleveland was because those two couldn't get along because they were kind of the same egocentric kind of guy.
Yes.
So, and that Celtics team is falling apart right now. That was a team that, it seemed like it couldn't get anything wrong, and now it seems that they can't get anything right. They were booed out of their own stadium the other day, which was ridiculous. They were up by 26. And they just completely lost the game. They got blown out of their own building. So, and they have a guy like Marcus Morris coming out and saying that they're not having fun. There's issues in the locker room. So there's a lot of bad things going on in Boston right now.
Yeah. All right. Hey, a final thought. I've got to let you go. I got to get out of here.
Hey, man, just NBA. Talked about the trade deadline. It's on the Eastern Conference. Look forward to it. Sixers, Raptors, Bucks, Celtics, Pacers. Everybody's in it, man. It's not just about Golden State anymore. The Eastern Conference has some players, so a lot of exciting basketball ahead for the NBA.
Next Monday, Daytona 500. Then we got to start talking college hoops.
Oh, yeah, we're getting March Madness round. We're coming up, right?
Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it.
All right, have a great week, guys.
All right, thank you so much. Tony Cotillo, T. Cotillo23 on Twitter, Heat Ratio, Fantasy Sports Addiction, and the Philly Influencer will be back.